All right. Hi. So I'm here with John Stone. I'm going to let him introduce himself and his organization and the apprenticeships that they offer.
Hi, my name is John Stone. I'm the Talent Acquisition Coordinator for SMACNA Colorado and the Colorado Sheet Metal Workers Apprenticeship Program. We offer a full 4-year apprenticeship program. What that means is that we provide you with all of the education and training that you need to be a successful sheet metal industry worker. And we also connect you with a contractor for full employment. Our typical apprentices work 40 hours a week, Monday through Friday, usually about 7 to 3, and then do classes, usually Mondays and Wednesdays from about 4 to 8. And you get paid about $19.21 per hour in taxable wages to start out. Our apprentices start off at about $68,000 a year on day one. And when they graduate from our program after 4 years, they turn out as journey workers. And our journey workers start off at $115,000 a year. We give you, like I said, all the education and training that you need to not just do HVAC installation and production, which is typically what most people think of when they think of sheet metal, but to do architectural metal, like you see in the Colorado Springs Air Force Chapel and the Denver Art Museum as well. To do artistic stuff, to do custom metal, kitchen works, counters, sinks, stuff like that, and then even into actual artwork. A lot of our guys and ladies create their own artwork on the weekends, and some of them make a living doing it as well, making lanterns and all kinds of art installations and stuff like that too.
Very cool. What are the requirements for a student who might be looking at this apprenticeship?
So you have to either graduate from high school or have a GED, and then you have to send over your transcripts, and we do look at them and use that as part of our scoring system. And then you have to have a driver's license and proof that you're at least 17 years old. Other than that, you don't need to have any prior work experience. You don't need to have experience in the construction field. None of that kind of stuff. We're going to teach you everything that you need to know anyways. And you don't need to be already employed with a sheet metal contractor. We set that up for you also.
Great. You already talked a little bit about the salary. Do you
Mhm.
offer any benefits to your apprentices, any professional certifications or tuition reimbursement, things like that?
So first off, it doesn't cost anything to be in our apprenticeship program. Not only do we pay our apprentices to be there, we also pay for their education. So the way that it works is half of the money comes from apprentices and journey workers, and half of the money comes from the contractors themselves paying into create this school. That 1921 per hour to start is taxable wages. When you add in the benefits, it actually brings it up to $32 and change. Full healthcare benefits for you and anybody else, any dependents that you might have, or a spouse. No premium out of pocket at all whatsoever on that. So it's fully covered by the employer, along with a local pension, a national pension, a national 401k, and an emergency fund for healthcare emergencies. So even if you did end up, let's say you broke a leg skiing and you needed to cover your deductible, we have a fund that will pay for your deductible as well. In addition to which, you also get, depending on how much you work, typically about 2 to 3 weeks of paid vacation each year.
Great. At the end of the apprenticeship, do they offer any tuition reimbursement if students want to continue with education, or just during the apprenticeship, the education?
So we do continuing education ourselves. So after you graduate from our program, you can come back to our school at any time for free and take whatever classes and get whatever certifications you want to. So let's say you graduated from our program as somebody who specialized in ductwork production and welding, right? And after 5 years, you're kind of tired of staring at sparks all day. You could come back to us and get certified in what's called test, adjust, and balance, or TAB work. And what those folks do is they go into a building once the entire HVAC system is installed, and they test and adjust every single vent in the building to make sure that it's fully balanced and putting out the right amount of air in the right areas. This is really important for making a place not have super warm spots and super cold spots, but also it's really important for places like hospitals where they need to have a section for people with depressed immune systems. They pressurize those areas through balancing the air system to force air out so that germs can't get in. And also in clean rooms, like with Lockheed Martin and weapon defense manufacturers, stuff like that, where they need extremely clean environments for building circuit boards and stuff like that as well.
Very
So
interesting.
I think that half answered the question. We provide a lot of continuing education,
That
and then
did.
we do actually have a scholarship program as well for people who want to go to college, to a proper college. And then our apprenticeship program actually awards you with college credits as well. By the time you finish our 4-year program, you will be about 3 classes away from an associate's degree. And you don't pay for those classes out of pocket at all whatsoever. It's all included in the total package compensation that we give you.
That's great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
How often do you offer training cohorts?
Basically the same as college semesters. We have a cohort that starts in January, February, end of January, beginning of February, and one that starts end of August, beginning of September.
If a student wants to apply, what is the application process?
So it's really simple. You go to www.smacnacolorado.org, and that's SMACNA Colorado.org, and click on the apprenticeship application. It's entirely online. It is a little bit long. There's a lot of questions, and do fill it out completely because we kind of grade you on it. Once you've done that, then I'll reach out to you and talk about getting your documents in, and we'll get your documents in securely. And then typically we would have you take what's called the ASVAB test, but right now they're not offering those. So we've kind of created a workaround for that. And then we'll do an interview as well. And once you get the documents in, I will start shopping your application and resume around to contractors to get you working as soon as possible. And then as soon as we have your entire application scored and do the interview and all that stuff, then you go on a ranking list. It is a pretty competitive program. We only accept 25 apprentices per semester per location. So we've got a Denver location, a Colorado Springs location, and a Grand Junction location, and we accept 25 at each place each semester. So you want to make sure that your score is as high as possible by doing a good interview and getting through the process quickly. And then we take the top 25 applicants.
Great. One small note, we have students who have taken the ASVAB before. Do you take scores that they've already gotten?
If they can get me the official scoring sheet, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for students who might be looking at a couple of different apprenticeship options, why should they choose your apprenticeship?
Well, tinners are the best, so that's the first reason. And I say that as a carpenter myself. So, I like the tinners better than my own carpenter sisters and brothers. But additionally, we offer a more comprehensive program than a lot of other apprenticeships do. And we offer a much broader field of employment. We have over 60 contractors in the state of Colorado alone. And your apprenticeship credits are transferable to every single state in the United States and Canada, where we also have, minimum a few dozen contractors in each state. On top of that, we've got a broader field of career paths. I think we're up to about 16 different career paths that you can enter into, from working in a production facility, just banging out fittings, to doing the draft and design work in an Autodesk program, actually designing building systems, to fire life safety, like I had discussed, similar to those air pressure systems, but this is for pressurizing stairwells to keep smoke and fire out, to running your own business. Over 55% of our contractors in the state of Colorado are owned by workers that graduated from this apprenticeship program, which is, I'm pretty sure, 99% sure, is the highest ownership rate by workers in the state. So there's a lot of different ways that you can go. And the other thing is we typically pay more. So that's a minor plus, right?
Relevant.
Yes.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to add for any students who are considering this?
Sure. So I just want people to know that apprenticeships in general, and I can speak specifically to my apprenticeship, but apprenticeships in general are going to be a much more supportive education environment and a much more supportive career path choice. Everybody who's involved in the apprenticeship is a worker. Every single one of them has done the work that they're going to train you to do, and they are personally invested in your success when you're in the apprenticeship program. All of your instructors are journey workers, they're foremen, they're superintendents, they're contractor owners. And they're intimately invested in you succeeding and thriving in this industry. So if you have a hard time with school, if you know sitting in a classroom didn't work out very well for you, you're just like me and just about every single one of my sisters, brothers, and siblings over at the Union Hall. All of us had a hard time sitting still, and that's why we like working with our hands, right? And we will make sure that we present all of the education and information to you in a way that is easy for you to get it, so that you can be successful, and so that you can make a really good living and you know, have a good career and a good life, because this is a career. What we're doing is we're training people into careers here.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to head and